Good afternoon, classmates. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am the second reporter, and I'm going to discuss the nervous system and sensory system of a fish. Nervous system. Nervous system is used for integration. It is for controlling the fish organs and its connections with the outside environment. So, when we talk about nervous system, of course, we know that it has the brain and the spinal cord. So, unsa man siya function ng brain or spinal cord? So, for the fish, the brain and spinal cord, it is used for coordinates and integrates all body activities and stores information. They transmit sensorial and motor information between tissues and organ of the brain and spinal cord. Next, nervous system. So this is the brain structure of a fish. So we have here the optic lobe. It is used for vision processing, visual perception, and coordination of eye movements. Second is the olfactory bulb. Olfactory bulb is the sense of smell. Send olfactory information to be further processed in the amygdala, the orbitofrontal cortex or the OFC, and the hippocampus, where it plays a role in emotions and more memory and learning. Next is the cerebellum. Cerebellum functions as it coordinates the balance and controlling the movement that help the fish swims. Next is the cerebrum. Seems to control behaviors such as taking care of the young and exploring the environment. Last is the pituitary. Pituitary. It is a stress response and behavior. So, spinal cord. So that is the spinal cord of a fish. So we have here the neural canal, neural spine, neural arc, centrum, hemal arc, hemal canal, and hemal spine. So for the neural canal, it has its part, which is the neural spine, neural arc, and yeah, and next is the centrum, which is not center, and the hemal canal has two components, and it's the hemal arc and hemal spine. So neural spine, it is a long tube-like band of tissue. It connects the brain to the lower back. For example, this is the brain and this is the lower back of a fish. So the neural spine is responsible for the connectivity of tissues from the brain and to lower back of a fish. Second is the neural arc. It protects the nerve cord. Next is the neural canal, responsible for coordinating, control, and controls various bodily functions. Next is the centrum. It is to allow fish to maintain its shape and posture. It is also responsible for the flexibility of a fish to be able to fish to bend and twist. For example, if you're going to swim, so ang nagfunction ana for the bending of a fish is ang centrum, which is kanang nasa center. Next is the hemal arc. It protects an artery and vein. Next is the hemal spine. Protects the caudal artery and vein and supplying oxygen and nutrients for removing waste and products. So, muna nag-function to kanabitang i-circulates ang balance sa oxygen o sa nutrients ang pagpasulod ana o pagpagawas. So, muna to ang it removes waste products and also it supplies the oxygen and nutrients of the fish. It also for the structural support of the fish. Okay. This one is a salmon, or in the scientific name is Oncorhynchus. So, a salmon are significantly larger than those of fish. So, kailan naman tang tanan, no? O sa ang kadakon sa salmon. So, salmon is also live as adults at sea but reproduce in fresh water. So, siya ang best examples for those living organisms that reproduce at sea, live as adults at sea, but reproduce in fresh water. Salmon use olfaction to find the stream where they were earlier. They memorize the sequence of smells on their way and detect chemical stimuli through their taste buds that found on barbels. Bony fishes. Okay, bony fishes are found in shallow water species. They are the shallow water species that have a color vision. So they have this neuromast to detect movement and pressure changes in water. Neuromast is sensitive to vibration. So For example, if they're going to swim, they can detect some organisms or some species if nabay ka sila or nabay ka ng prey or predators nga mo do sila. So fishes has a unique sense of organ called the lateral line. So what do you mean by lateral line? Lateral line is it is the one who picks up vibrations resulting from the swimming of the other animals as well as water displacements caused by the sound waves. It allows to avoid obstacles and predators. So muna nag-signal sa fish to be aware if nabay predators silang surroundings, if nabay ka ng wave actions. Like for example, if mo swim ang fish, di ba? Ang wave kay mo anam dyan. So yeah, muning hatag niya signals to avoid obstacles and predators. As what I've said, it detects prey and orient to currents and keep in school. So school, sa manang school, we're going to discuss that in our throughout our discussion. So next is cartilaginous fishes. Sharks have a distinct nictitating membrane that can be drawn across the eye to reduce brightness and to protect the eye during feeding. So, di ba, amazing. If ang bony fishes have this neuromast, cartilaginous fishes have also this nictitating membrane that can be drawn across the eye to reduce brightness and to protect the eye during feeding. So they also have this sense of organ in the head called the ampullae or Lorenzini. Ampullae of Lorenzini. So what do you mean by ampullae of Lorenzini? It can detect weak electrical field. It helps to locate prey and for navigation or compass. So sense organ of fishes. Eyes, olfactory sacs, taste buds, inner ear, and lateral line. So this is the examples of the organisms of the fish with its ampullae of Lorenzini. So cross-section through the skin of a fish, showing the lateral line sensory system. The nervus collects nerve impulses from the sensory organs and transmit the information to the brain. So in addition to the lateral line, cartilaginous fishes have ampullae of Lorenzini, a network of jelly-filled canals capable of detecting electrical fields in the water. So as you can see here, na-assay ka ng ang ampullae Lorenzini has ang outside niya is scale, then pores, then sundan pa yung jelly-filled canal, then next na dahil ang ampulla of Lorenzini and the nerve. So ang function na niya kay to detect prey and for detecting electrical fields in the water. So behavior, territoriality. So unsa may inyong unsay mga nahibalaan ninyo nga a fish that is territorial with its surroundings. Territorial sa ilang place. So territoriality has two behaviors. First, complex behavior, adapt to light and currents, to find food and shelter, and to avoid predators. Aggressive behavior, to defend their territories and they avoid physical fight. Territorial defense, bluffing, raised fins, open mouth, rapid darting, and sound production. So when you heard about bluffing, raised fins, so makabalo na mo nga. This is their way to defend yourselves sa mga predators for the able to them to survive in its environment. So when they avoid physical fight, mana ila ang defense. Bluffing, raise na ng fins, or open mouth, sound production through their fins, ana. So next is, so this is examples of the damsel fishes. So some damsel fishes such as the blue chromis or the chromis cyania from the Caribbean live among corals. They dash into spaces between the corals whenever danger approaches. So this kind of fishes avoid interaction with their predators. So ang ilang ways to survive is they dash into spaces between the corals whenever danger approaches. Like matago sila sa ilalong baka sa corals or anywhere nga dili sa makita sila ang mga predators. Next, subterritories. So mo ni ang schooling akong gingon dinina. Schooling is not about para nato nga school, right? Okay, ang schooling for fish, it is the schooling for fish is swims that swims in the same direction in a coordinated manner. So, ang schooling, it is their way to swim. Like if you see in Nat Geo, if you ever heard of that, they have this, you can see fishes that magrupo sila pag-swim, paana ba ka ha? So, makakita po mo o ganang paana. Basta, makita na ninyo. So, for example, for examples fish species nga mag-school is sardines, mullets, mackerels, hammerhead sharks, mantas, and rays. And the other part of the schooling is apartment schoolers, so juveniles. Next is solitary. So, solitary, a fish that occurs alone in schools or shows. So, best examples is the cartilaginous fishes. So, next is shows. Fish that stay together for social reason. 4,000 species including marine or freshwater species school adults. So, like mag-uban din sila para swim. So, why do fishes school? Like, what is the importance nga naman dyan nga mag-uban sila sa salon? So, the answer for that, it is for, schooling offers protection against predation, confuse predators, increase swimming efficiency, and advantages in feeding or mating. Like for example, if magdugan sila og salom, that's what you call schooling, mas dali ang ilang transportation, anong pag-swim kay ang, di ba, ang water, if danghan na mag-ana, mas dali sila magkakuan. Tayon, when it comes po sa predators, maka-confuse po sila sa predators kay, of course, daghan man sila. So, makuan gyud na sa predators nga murag mawala sila ang focus. So, this is examples of schooling. So, fishes follow different recognizable patterns when schooling. Some common patterns include A. Traveling. So, if mag-travel sila, they often use, inana nga swim, like, pana lang for travel. Next is the feeding on plankton. So, feeding on plankton, you can see nga marag, laylay sila o ganang position if mag-swim sila. Third is, encrusting. I think encrusting na siya. So, marag, ipalibutan nila ang basta ka species. So, third is the streaming to avoid a predator. So, mo na to kaingon ako ganina nga magdungan sila og salong. Bisan pa og naay mag-una. So, pa-check na sila. Like, swim sila na. Yeah, wala siya. We have here a migration. So, migration works for the movement from one place to another. A day, once a year, or once in a lifetime for a fish. So, next is vertical migration. So, vertical migration is a transoceanic journey made by tunas, salmon, and other fishes. So, why do fishes migrate? Like, what is the purpose or ano man yung need nilang migrate? Of course, behind that questions, na siya very important answers or role in fishes' life. So, fishes migrate for feeding and mating. Some sharks are now known to undertake long migrations. Meaning, if mag-migrate sila, dugay sila makabalik. Excuse me. So we have here the anadromous fishes that are dependent on fresh water for reproductions. So, for example is sturgeon fishes. So, if mag-reproduce jud sila, they will migrate sa fresh water, from salt water to fresh water, for the able to them na maka-reproduce. So, they lay eggs. Their eggs are eaten as caviar. So, some of you here are familiar with caviar. It is like a bubble tea. It's like a pearl in a bubble tea, but gagmay lang siya. So, best examples for the anadromous fish that are dependent on fresh water is salmon. Next is the homing behavior. Homing behavior, it is the ability of an animal to find its way back home area. Meaning, they have this na sila kakayahan nga. For example, if they migrate, the same pattern ila ang magian. I mean, bisan pag sa kalayo nilang adtuon, makabalik yapon sila ug asa sila gagikan. For example of this is a salmon. Catanadromous fishes have a migratory pattern opposite that of salmon. If ang salmon is makabalik sila sa exact place ug asa sila kagikan, opposite siya sa catanadromous fishes, which is the water eels. So this is a salmon. As you can see, a black arrow is for the salmon. So, if mag-migrate sila, like, I mean, dali ra sila makabalik silang area. Makabalik din sila, like, sa specific area. So, the skipjack tuna or the Katsuwonus pilamis, the leading commercial catch among tunas, undertakes extensive migrations that every year take it almost halfway across the globe. The Pacific salmon, on the other side, or the Oncorhynchus, migrates to spawn only once in a lifetime. So, approximate limits of distribution and migration routes indicated are for all 7 species of salmon. If ang skipjack tuna, mag-migrate sila every year, it is opposite sa tuna. Kaya ang tuna, only once in a lifetime gid sila makamigrate for reproduction. Yeah. So as you can see po sa kanang route, major migration route sa skipjack tuna, dako ka sila ko dawa sila og kanang area kay mukuan mi gid sila sa globe. I mean murag makuha gid niya ang masalom gid niya ang half sa globe. So next is this is the journey of Pacific salmon such as the sockeye salmon or the Oncorhynchus nerica. So salmon is the anadromous fishes nga na ability nga makabalik sila ang gigikanan. So the fish have to swim far upstreams, often leaping over rapids and waterfalls. So if mag-agi sila sa streams, there's a possibility nga makuha sila as prey. So some of these people nga makakuha sila is, of course, ang fishers. Makakuha sila sa nets. Kaya mag-agi sila sa waterfalls. Yeah. Yan siya. So, the organisms of the sea. The Leptocephalus larvae or if madako na siya, mahimo na siyang adult eel. So, unsa man to ganina? So, it's the Catanadromous fishes. It is the opposite of the salmon. Kay, ano siya? 2 species of freshwater eels, the American Anguilla rostrata and European eels, breed in Sargasso Sea and migrates to rivers in North America and Europe. The return trip of larvae is not precisely known, so the arrows indicate only the most likely routes. Diba, ang salmon kay anadromous fishes man siya, makabalik man siya sa yaang gikanan using the same route. But ang eels kay kuan siya. Ang eels kay wala siya specific na route. So, ang nakita niyo nga araw diha mura na ang murag ng mostly nga route nga maagian sa eels. So that's all. Thank you so much, and Jurek will continue his part of this report, which is the reproduction and life history.